Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. On this week's episode of Make It Monday, we are going to be learning how to do Mermaid Tail Epoxy Keychains. So I hate to be wasteful and I try to use every bit of the supplies I have. So these mermaid tails are what I make with my extra epoxy. They are super cute. I make them with whatever glitter I'm working in that day. I add a little tassel, a little personalized charm there. And then I sell them for $3 to $5 a piece, depending on if I personalize them or not. There is a blank spot big enough to cut a little vinyl name. You can add an initial down, a name in here. So these can be personalized for sale. They're super cute. I make them in tons of colors. Whatever I've got going on, there's lots and lots and lots of ways to do them. I only have 2 molds, so I make one at a time. If you had more molds, you could make tons of these. Basically, at the end of a cup run, I take my mold and my epoxy and I make a mermaid tail, and then the next day it's dry, and then basically, you can see all these piled up here on my little table. I've got a container that I just make them and throw them in, and then I get them ready for shows, and I just take a big batch of the shows and I will sell out every single time. So what you need to do this project is you will need some epoxy, whether it's a fresh batch or some leftover. You will need some molds. I have 2 different sizes. I have a small mold and I have a large mold. I have a variety of little jewelry letters that I use to customize them. I have some tassels. They come in big batches, lots of different colors. I like to match the tassel to the mermaid tail. Then I have little screw hooks, like these. I have them in gold, I have them in silver. Doesn't really matter which color you use. And then I have these little ring attachments. See? And then I have these key rings that come preloaded with a chain on them. So they come like this, with a chain already on them. So what I do, the first step is to get your molds and your epoxy ready. If you buy these molds through the link that I have posted, they will come just like this, just like this. I, though, have a little shortcut that I like to do. So I have a little screwdriver and a little bit that I can make a hole, screw the little eyelets in, but it really is a pain in the tush. It's just a big pain. So what I did was I cut a little hole in my mold, and you can't really see it, but it's there, trust me. So what you want to do before you start this project is I just took the tip of my X-Acto, and you can see right here. Let me show you. There's a little slit, right? See them? See that? It's a teeny tiny slit. I take my little eyelet hook before I do anything, and I push it all the way down in there till I can't see it no more. Where I want to see it at is coming through this side. So I push it down in there far enough to where the tip of the eyelet can be seen. You see that? Okay. So then this mold is ready. So I have my bowl of epoxy. This is my extra epoxy that we're going to use. So when it comes out of the mold, it's going to come out just like this. It's going to have some rough spots on the edges. I just take my fingernail and I kind of, break those extra off. You can hit this edge, depending on how rough it is, with a little piece of sandpaper to smooth it down. And then it's ready to be a keychain. So you're going to need 2 of these eyelets. And they come pre-opened, which is nice, so you don't have to fiddle with that. So the first thing you're going to do is take your part with your keychain and I thread that on there. Let's see. And then I take my mermaid tail and I thread that on there, kind of hold it together. And then I just squeeze them together. And there you go. So now you could stop here. You've just made a keychain, but everyone needs a little bit more bling in their life, right? So I like to fancy my keychains up a bit. So I am going to use one of these cute little tassels. And I am going to put on an initial. So let's see. Not sure who I have. Let's see. What letters I have left. Ooh, how about a K? I know a little girl named K that might like her Little Mermaid. So the first thing I do is I take this. So this guy, he comes with a little itty bitty little ring on there. So I take that, because that ring is hard to open and close. So I take that ring and I thread it through my big ring, okay? Then I thread on my tassel. And this whole thing, I thread through the top ring of the keychain. And you gotta kind of, it wants to fight you and slide off, so it's kind of hard to keep a grip on here. See, it's starting to come off on me. See? Not everything goes perfect, guys. Okay, so there's a little better grip on it. Take that there. And then I take my little tweezers, or needle nose pliers. I called them the wrong thing. And I make sure those are together super tight. Just like that. And now I have a mermaid keychain personalized with an initial and a tassel. These are fairly reasonable as far as the cost to make these. You're using, you know, garbage epoxy that you would normally throw away, a couple sprinkles of glitter. You can buy, I'll have links to all these items, but most of these things you can buy in bulk and they're fairly reasonable. So you're probably, you know, less than $1 to make these, and you can sell these, the personalized ones, $5 easy. Non-personalized, if they don't have a letter on them, I sell them for like $3, and I sell them, you know, all day long. I'll have a whole container full of them and they will all be gone. And you can see, so like this one has dyed epoxy where I was making a swirl cup, so I put some dyed epoxy in there and a little bit of glitter. Same with this one. This one's dyed epoxy, kind of marbly looking. This one has some chunky glitter in it. This is my waste cup. I have a junk cup for glitter when I've mixed it together or whatever. So this is my dump cup glitter and some little bit of stuff, you know, all different kinds of colors. You know, the less glitter you use, the more transparent they are. Now these are going to have a matte, kind of a matte finish. So if your mold that you buy is matte, your whatever comes out of it will be matte. Now these have a sparkle to it because they have glitter in them, but if you wanted them to shine like the inside of a cup does, you would want to take a little bit of epoxy and coat the top of them. I use a UV resin sometimes to do this because I can put a little bit on, hit it with a UV light, then it's super shiny and bright almost instantly. I don't have to wait for anything to dry. These bigger ones are cool, you know. You can make larger ones if you like. There's really so many possibilities with these Little Mermaid things, and it's really just using up your scrap epoxy, and you know, why be wasteful? So I will have there will be links to the 2 glitters that I used today in our project, and they will also be links to all of the supplies that I use to make these little crafty things. They're great little gifts, little add-ons, little you know, gift bag things, birthday parties. They really, mermaids are, everybody loves mermaids. You can make these to match, you know, if you have a tumbler that's a beach tumbler, make your customer an extra little bling to go with it. Say thank you. People, you know, they eat up that stuff. They really do love that, the little extra details that you can do. So if you like this tutorial and you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, share, hit the bell to be notified of, you know, what's coming up next Monday. And if you haven't already, be sure to join our Facebook group. I post little snippets and tidbits on what's coming up, what we're working on. It's a nice place to share our projects with each other, ask questions to get immediate answers. And other than that, I guess I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.